Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince. Look what we have here, a Google Chromecast. I bought it as faulty years ago. Should have looked at it then, but no, I'm looking at it now. When you plug it in, it says here, Chromecast dead, unit only. When you plug it in here with micro USB, this will cut out straight away. The very second I plug this in, it will go out. So watch this now. Here we go. In, and it goes out. Unplug it, liven up again. I go to plug it in, and it cuts it out straight away. So I'm thinking there's some weird short inside here. So let's bring it over to the mat, try to crack it open. There's no evidence of any screws, so it's going to be glued. And let's see if we can find out, is it going to be a shorted capacitor? What's causing it to completely short out the very instant that you put the power into it? Let's get started. Behold the beauty of the yellow mat. Hasn't been out in a while, forgive me. Now we are going to try to crack this open. So Marcel's vice, do your magic. I'm going to try to apply a little bit of pressure in the middle and then use this. Well, luckily there's a gap to get in there. That's it, now it's coming. Come on, here we go. Well, I wouldn't say it's easy to get into, but it's not a nightmare either. There we go, so you can see it is glued all the way around. But we do have a couple of posts, and look at that, a big lump of thermal. It's more like a paste than a pad, and it's contained with that little bit there. I've never seen it done like that. Can you see this little sponge ring? It's a hard life being such a big YouTuber, having all these A-list celebrities constantly hounding you.
Marry me, Porcupine Head.
Now,
Stupid Matt.
are you going to come out? So we have a couple of little Torx bits, well, 3 Torx bits here. Let's undo them. Torx 5. Looks like there's an LED here and a button here. So I'm thinking these would have been useful. Well, do you know what? People are still using the Fire Stick nowadays. So these, I presume, would have been useful when your TV wasn't smart, yet it was HDMI, and it meant you could get apps and stuff on your TV. I'm thinking that's what they would have used this for back in the day. Here we go. Ah, a load of thermal paste there as well. Well, annoyingly, there's shields on both sides, which makes it that bit harder. First of all, shall we just look down at the pins here, make sure there's nothing short in there, and also let's look in the port. It felt okay when I plugged the lead into it. Well, that looks fine. Let's have a look at the pins. Well, is it possible that the shield has shorted against? No, it's not. No, it's cleared. It was just reflections. I was wondering if the shield had come out and shorted ever so slightly. Well, the pins themselves are not shorted to each other, and from what I can see, they're not shorted to the shield. So I think we're going to have to get under. Now, are they going to come up easy, or are they going to be soldered down? No, they're not soldered down. This is good. Result. And now I won't get the thermal pad everywhere either, which is nice. Right, let's put that to one side. And let's take off the other side as well. There we go. So it cuts off straight away. So I think let's get the thermal cam on the go. And when we plug it in, let's see if anything gives a flash of light. Do you know, I don't even think it's going to get hot enough to give a flash of light. So we might have to just use our meter and go across the capacitor to see if any of them have shorted. I'll tell you what I'm going to do to make it easier. Let's unplug it from here and plug this in. Oh, that's clever. Look how the HDMI plugs in, so you can actually interchange them quite easily. Well, that's nice. Let's see if anything flashes. No, nothing there. Let's try that one more time. No, nothing there. I don't think it's just so instant that I don't think it would have enough time to generate any heat. Let's try the other side. No, it's far too quick. What we could do is we could actually get our bench power supply and force voltage into it, but let's not go there just yet. Let's zoom in, get our multimeter on continuity. Let's see if we've got any shorts. Straight away we got shorts. Right, okay, let's see what else. Got shorts everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Wow. Well, I like shorted capacitors, but this is, I feel a bit overwhelmed because we have so many of them. Let's see if these are shorted here. Shorted as well. Got loads of shorts. Well, should we get the microscope out and have a real close look at the capacitors and see if any of them are cracked? Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so let's have a look at the different caps around the place. See if any of them look iffy. So this one just has a load of thermal paste on it. Now, does that look like it's got a crack on? Or is that a fibre? That there, I think, is a crack. Is that our faulty one? Let's see if that one's testing short. That one's testing short, and I think, unless I accidentally hit it to begin with, I think that's got a crack on it. What's going on with this one? That's got a short on as well. That don't look great. A lot of them have that banding going across them, don't they? I think that's just from the from manufacture. Just have a look at the other side. Oh, I think everything looks okay. We haven't got any holes in any of the chips or anything like that. I think we're going to have to put voltage into this. Let's just take that one off and see what happens. Was that the one? No, it was down here, wasn't it? Lost where I was now. No, it was here. It was this one. I just want to see what it's reading on ohms. So when I put my leads together, my leads at this moment in time are 3 ohms, 3.25. Let's see what this one is. .2. It's a full-on short. My leads are 3 right now. 3.2. Do I take that one off? Rather than use a load of heats, I think I might just use some low melt solder with my soldering iron, see if I can pop it off. Kind of hidden behind here, I can't take it out. There we go. Right, let's just get rid of that short there. Yeah. Right, let's see now if the pads are shorting. Should we do the cap first? Let's do the cap first. Cap's fine. It's not the cap. I can't even find out which one is the ground to put voltage in. Well, actually, what am I doing? This is going to be the ground here. This massive thing is going to be ground, yeah? If I was to scrape here, well, I don't need to. Let's go onto here. Is that going to be? I think it's this here as well. I think that's the power. So why don't we get a little wire from here and just inject 1 volt and see if anything gets warm. So my bench power supply is around about 1 volt. There you go, 0.96 of a volt, and when I touch these together it's 1.8 amps. Let's see what that does. So let's get my fur cam on the go again, and we're going to be using this massive one of the shield here. In fact, I can just use that there, that's big. There. Right, let's see now. Straight to 1.8 amps, and it's 0.4 volts. Right, so there's nothing getting warm there, but this side. What? Oh no, it's not going to be one of the chips, is it? There's nothing getting warm. Right, I'm going to try to up the voltage, but no, actually, let's up the current. So 2.5 amps now, it's gone up to 0.6 of a volt. Something's getting warm there, or is it the other side of the board? Right, something's starting to get warm on this side here. This side. I can't even see which side of the board it's coming from though. Right, I'm going to put more amps in. So we're going up to 3.5 amps now, 0.8 of a volt. You can definitely see it from that corner. So maybe we'll use IPA. You know, I'm still new to this flare cam. I'm going to try my other one. There's a massive capacitor there, or an inductor maybe. And then there's a chip. I bet it's that chip. Right, let's get some IPA on the go. I bet it's the chip. Right, to me it looks like, what do you think? The middle of that chip. I think that chip's gone. Yeah, straight away it's the middle of that chip. And I think the inductor's getting warm. Similar to the FLIR cam. I suppose what we could do is we could take off the inductor, because the inductor's still getting very warm, isn't it? And then see if the chip's getting warm. We'll do that. So by taking away the inductor, it's going to disconnect this chip, I think, from the rest of the circuit, and then we can see if the shorts, we can see if it's this side that's shorted or this side that's shorted, and it will give us an idea. I think it's the chip, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm going to use hot air here. I'm going to lower down my airflow a bit. So 450 degrees Celsius and 125 out of a possible 200 airflow. Right, so we're going to see now if the short is on this pad or this pad. This pad. 4 ohm short. And my leads are 3 ohms. So I think it's the chip that's gone. And there's still a chance it could be one of the caps. I just don't think so because the heat was coming from here. Right, I am going to have to take this chip out. And then we'll see if the shorts on these caps have gone. If they have, we know then the chip is at fault. I think I'm just going to try to reach in again. I've got to be careful that I don't touch this one here because it's BGA. I wonder, should I suppose I should really cut away a bit of the shield, because I'm going to struggle to, I'm going to struggle to get to it. That's just over here. Right, there we go. That gives me nice access to it now. Definitely seems to be damaged right in the middle there, I think. I hope I didn't knock off a resistor there. It's just the pad looks a bit weird.
Yeah, I definitely knocked off a resistor when I did this bit here.
I do have another one of these with a faulty HDMI, so I suppose the sensible thing would be just to, take this one off and put it on there. But I might be more tempted to try to take the chip off that and put it on here, because when you plug power into that one, it does come alive, like a little light lights up down here. Let's pop this chip off and see if the shorts go away. I still might be lucky. It might be a capacitor fault. I think I'm going to pop the inductor back on. Right, let's see now if these caps here are still shorted. It'd be great if they were, but they're not. Oh, they're not. So that was a big ground in the middle, and the chips failed internally. Right, so that's that. Where are the caps on this side here, just to make sure? So all up here. Yeah, they're all fine. And that was really fine. Right, okay, so we need to find out what that little chip is. tell you what we're going to do is let's just plug in now just to see if the USB is still going dead. Shouldn't be, because that short's gone. It's not going to come alive because I think that's probably a power management chip. Right, let's just see now what happens when I plug it in. There you go. That little light's on there. Oh, look at that. It's not going to work, but you can see now it's alive. Well, I don't know if it's covered in flux. Maybe it's covered in flux. That little button there doesn't want to press in. Let's give this all a little clean. But you can see there that it came alive. And we might as well pop back that capacitor on this side here. Hopefully I'll be able to do that with a solder line. Right, annoyingly, I've broken the pad there. Because what's happened is, when I was injecting voltage, you need to remember it's so small. Let me show you the wire. There we go. So this is the wire here, which is small. But compared to the pad, it's absolutely huge. In fact, you can see the pad there on the end of it. So it just ripped the pad off. Oh well. I think it will probably work just fine without that one. I'm just gonna take it away completely. It's a shame though. Pad's completely gone, so I suppose there's probably a tiny little, I can't actually see where it goes to. There might be like a wire under the pad. I think it goes right under the pad. I can see a little discoloured bit just under it, well, a lighter bit, and I think that was the wire originally feeding that pad. Because it doesn't look like it goes to anything else. Yeah, my button's working again. Problem with the flux is it's so sticky and it gets everywhere. Right, let's zoom in and have a look at this chip, see if we can find out what it is. Well, I can't see the first one because that's kind of where it's burned, but I think it's MRVL 8868. Right, the chip is a Marvel G868, not 8868. MRVL's for Marvel G868. And you can actually buy them. If you have a look here, AliExpress, you can see £3.84, but £2.69 shipping. Probably be cheaper just to buy a Chromecast off eBay. But yeah, they definitely have them here, which is good. Yeah, data sheet's not bringing up anything useful. Well, I'm going to say it's to do with the power management. So what we're going to have a look at is, I've got this one here, another one, HDMI fault. So yeah, the sensible thing would be just to take this one and probably put it on there. But let's see what's happening. Let's see if I take that chip out and put this one in from here, will it start working? Right, let's pinch the chip out of this one and pop it into this one and see if it comes alive. So that's there. You don't have to say it in the comment section. I know the sensible thing would be just to put this on here and see if it works, but remember, this video is for entertainment. And it's nicer to prove a fault onto a chip rather than just swapping out a HDMI connector. So again, 450 degrees Celsius and 125 out of 200 airflow. The only reason I think this is a power supply is because we have inductors by it. So I think this is providing two different power supplies. Oh look, there is a resistor there. So I've got to try to take that resistor as well. If it was a capacitor, I'd leave it, but because it's a resistor, it means the path's no longer going through it. Right, that's off. Let me just try to take the resistor off. It'll be stupidly small. These are like the smallest components. Got it. Right, I'll get the chip on to begin with, and then I'll try to do the resistor afterwards. So this is a good opportunity to shout out the My Mate Vince Massive. They're the top level Patreons. The members this month are Keemon Services, Kip Hakes on YouTube, Max Rokatansky, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeeps.com, DJVG, Pixie, Anthony Dean, Russ Mellinson, Rickard Bergland, Shamsa Al Suwadi, Stuart Park, Stephen from The Broken Pass on YouTube, Lee Benz, and AJ Computer Services UK. So a massive thanks to every one of them, and also everybody that supports over on Patreon. In fact, you know what I might do? I might try to put the resistor on now with the soldering iron. So painfully small. Looks like a capacitor. I presume it's black the other side. Where are you gone? Why won't you turn over? Because of the flux, I actually can't see. I can't even see it now. There it is. I think it's just going to stick to the soldering iron. Where are you? Do you know, I'm going to have to use hot air, but I'm going to put my airflow right the way down. It's too small to do with the soldering iron. Right, 450 degrees Celsius, 80 out of 200 airflow. I'm coming in from a distance. Hopefully it won't blow away. Go on, pull in, pull in, pull in, pull in. Pulled in that side, didn't it? There you go. Ah, did you see that move like magic? Leave it there, Vince. Leave it there. Right, let's try to get the chip on now. So I'm putting my airflow back up. 450 Celsius and 120 out of a possible 200 airflow. I should be putting leaded solder on here, but I think I'm just going to use the unleaded solder that's on it. Right, you can see that's melted now. Let's get the chip. Place it on. And try to get it in the middle. I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to let it cool and then give it a nice good clean with isopropyl alcohol. Right, there we go. You can see that looks nice all the way around, I think. I'm going to zoom in a bit. And it's much more readable than this chip. So if we look at this one here, even though this has been cleaned as well, can you see just by the M there on the marble, it seems to be burnt on this one, I think. More than that one there. And we've got our little resistor in place there. That resistor is just about hanging on where it should be. I'm wondering now, while I'm editing back,
if the resistor below on the left hand side, look at that big lump of solder, it looks very rectangle. I think we're looking at a resistor that's tombstone, so you're looking down at the top. I think that is the old resistor. I didn't notice it at the time. It's not going to do any harm because it's just going to be on that pad there. There's nothing on the other side of the resistor, so it's resisting to nothing. But I reckon that's where that original resistor went to.
The only thing we're missing now is this capacitor in here, but I think it's going to be fine. Obviously, if you knew where that would go to, then you might be able to get it on the other side and put a capacitor on. But I think it's going to be okay. So I'm going to put the shield back on purely for the thermal pads. So we have to put this on here. What I should have done now in hindsight is before I took the chip off this one, because this is the one with it says that it's got a HDMI fault, I should have really popped that off here and put this one on to see if this one came alive. Right, let's plug it in and see if it's now drawing something. Right, so we're plugged in. Yes, it's drawing something there, and we have a little light on here. What happens if we hit the button? Anything? Oh, it goes to white. No, maybe it's just gone to white anyway. Oh yeah, no, it goes to orange when we hit the button. So it looks like there's some sort of brain working on it now, and it is drawing something. Let's get it back into the case and plug it into the TV and see whether or not something will display. Right, I'm going to try to power it from the USB of the actual TV rather than having a separate power supply. I'm not sure what you need for these, but let's give it a go. That's in there. Let's put it into HDMI 1. And let's go to here. Oh, Chromecast, I'm already on the correct one. (1080p, 60 Hz). Well, that's nice. Wow, I wasn't expecting that whatsoever. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting something really dated. I don't actually know what you do with this. Does it need a separate remote control, or do you connect up a key? Oh, here we go. Can't connect to Wi-Fi. Please make sure your network. I suppose I'll have to do some sort of reset. That looks a lot more modern than I thought it would do. Okay, I am going to glue, because it's clearly working, I'm going to glue the top back on, and then I'm just going to do a tiny bit of research to see if the Chromecast can still be used in 2025. So I super glued it and put it in the clamp, and then when I lifted it up, I can't believe it. I don't know how. I know how one happened. I haven't got a clue how the other one happened. I looked down, there was a big lump of super glue here and here. So obviously I'm trying to hide it now, because why did I not take this over to the mat and do it on the kitchen worktop? So I scraped it back, and now I've put olive oil on it to try to blend it in with the rest. I don't think I'm going to get away with that. Oh no, it's bad, isn't it? Well, the mystery of the second mark is now clear. I was sipping my coffee waiting for the Chromecast to dry, the glue, and I noticed my finger was all rough. And on this bit here, I've managed to get about a penny's worth size of glue on that little finger there. So what's happened is I was working here and I had my hand here, and then I've transferred all the glue from my finger without even feeling it onto the worktop there. I hate super glue. I hate it, but I keep using it. Right, connecting is really easy because I've already got a few Google products around the home, like Google Homes. So yeah, it's updating now. Renamed it to MMV instead of Mum's Bedroom, and it's going through the obligatory update. So I think the idea behind here is you don't use a separate remote control, even though maybe you can buy one. You use your phone, and all you're really doing is casting Chromecast to the TV. Honestly, I'm loving these things here. I'd like them for my frame TV. So yeah, if we go here, this is Stedstick's. Check out his channel if you haven't already. And if I go to this one here, this is where you cast from YouTube. And if I go to MMV TV, then it says connecting to MMV, and you see it's going to bring it up here. So the idea is whatever's on your phone will now be working on your TV, which is going to be nice if your TV is not a smart TV, like this one here. There we go. So press play.
Pressing the lens is
Fantastic.
not about the fix, but the potential entertainment of you trying to get inside.
There you go.
Okay.
So you can see now that it's working absolutely fine, and you pause it and stuff on here.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, I really enjoyed that fix there. And it was all because of this chip here. It's amazing, isn't it? Look at that there, and it looks massive compared to that resistor next to it. Do you remember on the screen, this looked absolutely huge compared to the resistor. Now you get an idea about how small that resistor is. It really is like a speck of dirt. When it was on my yellow mat, I could barely see it. That's how small it is, because you can see how small the chip is, and the chip was massive compared to that resistor. So there we have it. For some reason the chip blew. Who knows why? Maybe it's working very hard a lot of time, and maybe if this is on for hours and hours and hours, possibly that may heat up. I think that's power management, but I don't actually know. I enjoyed that fix there. I hope you did too. And the product has surprised me. And now I think I might find out a bit more about this product, and there might even be some how-to videos on it, even though I'm probably a little bit late to the party with these Chromecasts. I'm also going to look up to see if you can buy new Chromecast devices, or did they stop around this era here. So there we go. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all very, very soon.